Good day, viewers. Walter here. It's Sunday afternoon, sitting on the porch thinking. I was watching a commercial on TV a while ago and it showed some children playing jump rope and it brought to mind games of we played as kids. Nowadays, I don't think children's games, most people, young people now, would not even heard of some of the games we used to play when I was a kid. And I thought I'd talk about just a few of them. And we had the normal activities like playing in the mud hole and going fishing and just inventing games, climbing trees, anything to stay busy. This was before the days of television. But often in the evening, we would get together with kids in the neighborhood, around the community, and play games on up under the street light out in the street till it got too dark to be out there anymore. Nowadays, a kid ain't got some $75 toy or a video game or a computer or something, he don't know what to do with himself. Well, the kids are bound to the house watching television their whole evening. You wonder why kids get overweight, out of shape. Now, a lot of kids will get out and play baseball, basketball, football, whatever. I'm sure those type of games still going on, but the kind of children's activity that comes to my mind was, well, I named just a few. A game we often played as kids was Cowboys and Indians. Now, Cowboys and Indians was a lot of fun. Sometimes we would be soldiers and the bad guys, the good guys and the bad guys. But Cowboys and Indians was a common game we played. Most of us had a cap pistol or a make-believe toy gun. You shoot at the kid, bang, 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 you're dead. And have quick draws, see who could draw their pistol the fastest. And we had a great time just running around the neighborhood being Cowboys and Indians. Nobody ever wanted to be the Indian, but they always lost. But I enjoyed playing the part of the Indian. Point is, we played outdoor games and found something to keep ourselves occupied. We would, it'd be something simple like climbing an apple tree and eating green apples. Go out in the mud hole in the ditch and dig up crayfish. Climbing trees just for the point of having something to do. And there was always chores that had to be done around the house that would somehow we would manage to turn into a game. We were playing with slingshots one time under a hickory tree in Aiken, South Carolina. I remember that. These hickory nuts were all over the ground. We were throwing them at each other. It wouldn't matter if you hit your brother or your friend, whoever it was, because pretty good chance he's going to hit you too. Well, I got one and put it in my slingshot and reared back and hauled off and hit my little brother right in the back of the head. Boom! And he knew it was me that shot him. But he's crying, oh, oh, oh. And Mama comes out of the house and, what's going on? What'd you do? And he looks at me and I gave him kind of the evil eye. So he pointed at my other younger brother and he said, Bobby hit me with a hickory nut. He knew if he told on me, I'm probably going to get even with him later. So for a little brother, he was a little bit smart enough to stay out of trouble with me and tell Mama at the same time he got hurt. Some of the games we played were downright dangerous. I know, I'm sure many of you can figure out some of the dangerous things we did that you wouldn't want your kid doing nowadays. But somehow we survived those days. And I just thought I would mention that. That's stuff that came to my mind. I remember one game we would play, if we wasn't playing with marbles or toy rope army men or something. Sometimes we'd play Mumbly Pig. All the boys had a pocket knife. You wasn't a boy if you didn't have a pocket knife. And I don't remember all the rules, but Mumbly Pig, we stick a little peg in the ground, and the boys would all sit in a circle and say, you got your pocket knife. You had to imitate what the other person did. So you put the knife point down on your finger, this is just an example, and you grab the other end of the knife and flip it, and it sticks up in the ground. Well, the next person has to do the same thing, or he might be going to flip the knife off of his elbow, or off of his knee, anything, just something to be playing with a knife. Whoever lost the game had to pull the peg up, a Mumbly Peg out of the ground with your teeth. I don't really remember all the rules on how we played it, but that was one of the games we played, Mumbly Pig. Then there was always go sit under the back porch and smoke rabbit tobacco. That was always fun. You get you a piece of brown paper bag or a piece of newspaper and roll it up with some rabbit tobacco. Take 2 or 3 puffs until you're about sick as a dog and claim, I'm smoking rabbit tobacco. We tried smoking grapevines. I don't know what all. If it was anything to do to get into mischief or trouble, my brother and I could think of it. Now, more times than not, we would just grab up our fishing pole, go to the river and fish. And we found ways to get in trouble doing that too. Anyway, not much of a vlog today. I'm sitting here watching the hummingbirds. And they're pretty active this afternoon. Just thought I'd do a little bit of a quick vlog, show you my new hat I ordered from Amazon. U.S. Navy veteran. And proud of it. Well, yesterday I got out here talking about some of the old games and things we played as a kid, activities that children no longer do. And last night I was made edited part of the video, and I was thinking maybe I'll just make a list of some of the games that I recall just off the top of my head. And there was hundreds of games that we played as a kid that most children nowadays probably never heard of them. Some of them were downright dangerous. Like the Mumbly Pig one I was talking about. You don't normally give a kid a knife and go out and play a game nowadays. They didn't have nothing about it when I was a kid. We played games like, when smaller kids especially would play games like Blind Man's Buff, ankle race. Ankle race, you just bend over and hold your ankles and race to a destination, see who can run the fastest bent over like that. Almost every house had a little badminton set you could buy down to the dime store. Play badminton. How many of you ever played badminton? Most of the games we played were physical, very strenuous activities. But everybody, almost every house I could think of, people would have a croquet set. You get out there and knock a wooden ball around the front yard and go through little wire hoops and bump it into a stick. I bet you can't even find a croquet set nowadays. One game we played a lot was dodgeball. Somebody stand in the middle and you throw and try to hit him with that ball. If you ain't paying attention, they'll whop you with that ball. Running activity games like follow the leader, hide and seek, kick the can. Hot potato. That was a fun one. You sit in a circle and use a bean bag or something such and knock it back and forth. It's supposed to be a real hot potato. You can't catch it or pick it up. You gotta knock it away from you to the next person. Whoever misses it is out of the game. we would, traveling games, when we were traveling down the road, we'd play I Spy. How many of you ever played I Spy? Boys would get together and Indian wrestle. Kids would get out there and play Red Rover, Red Light. You ever play Red Light? Tag, that's a pretty strenuous game. Drop the handkerchief. And drop the handkerchief, the kids would stand in a circle. And whoever was it would run around the outside of the circle holding a handkerchief or a beanbag or whatever you designate for the game. And nobody could look back until the person running behind him had already gone. He'll drop that handkerchief or beanbag behind one person. Well, whoever he drops it behind's got to pick up the beanbag and chase the person that dropped it around the circle. If that person can get all the way around the circle and get back in that open space where he dropped the bag, then the other guy's it. If not, whoever's it's got to do it again. Leapfrog. We played leapfrog sometimes. But the worst time I ever got my finger mashed, we were playing leapfrog before I got in the street, and whoever it was jumped over me on the leapfrog thing. Came down with his shoes right on top of my hand. Boy, that was my last game of leapfrog ever. Little girls would get out there and play jump rope or London Bridge or hopscotch. I bet kids nowadays wouldn't know what hopscotch was. Anyway, I just thought I'd do a little vlog on some of the old games of old days back that we used to play back then. Tomorrow's vlog, I'm going to tell. In my next vlog, I'm going to tell you what happened over at Walmart today. We'll call it Pandemonium Down to the Walmart or something. I think it's some good title. I hope all my viewers will be on the lookout and not get washed away from that hurricane that's coming up through the country. Biggest damage you'll get is flooding and stuff, unless you're right on the coast where the high winds were. Anyway, y'all take care. This is Pwalpar wishing everybody well. Thanks for listening.